Mom, I have a baby jar. Baby my jar.
Hit the music.
Fine.
Oh, she found the old music. Alright. Corner to Corner is live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody, and welcome to C2C Radio Show, Corner to Corner Wrestling Radio, live on C2CRadioshow.com, Spreaker.com/Corner to Corner, and all of your favorite podcast distribution sites. I'm Stan Grubb. My tag team partners are here. Brian Taylor is here.
What's good?
What's up?
What do you know?
No, I don't know a damn thing. I'm here to be educated by you guys. And my other tag team partner, Rob Hefner, is here.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here. I do not know nothing or anything or whatever the proper grammar is, but I'm here. Don't know for how long mentally.
And, of course, this edition of Corner to Corner is brought to you by our good friend, co-host Diego, and his interesting podcast. He's talking about all kinds of crazy stuff. Brian, have you gotten yourself caught up on Let's Find Out yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, I'm working on it.
We do have a link on the website where you can check it out.
Yeah, but also on where else? YouTube. That one he's on.
He's all over the place. He's going live from, well, not live, but he uploads new episodes every Saturday through Anchor, anchor.fm. His webpage is at podpage.com/Let's Find Out with co-host Diego.
See, that's why I prompt you to tell people things. I say YouTube, you say nope, you're wrong. Let me correct that. And then you tell the people where they can listen to them.
His most recent episode, May 5th, talking about Cleveland 2018. Nate and his brother witnessed several different flying objects over his house. Also, a cube within a sphere that ejected a number of orbs not soon after that, followed by a tic-tac object. If that doesn't pull you in to wonder what the hell is happening here, I don't know what to tell you, because that's craziness. You guys believe in UFOs?
How long you got?
Hey, man, it's our show. I got as long as you want us to have.
Well, but the problem is, if I'm like, yes, I believe you're like, okay, well, let's talk wrestling. Then,
All right, moving on.
Yeah. You may not be a believer, so I know how skeptics can get.
I actually think that there's definitely something else out there. What it is, I got no idea, but there's something out there.
Yeah. So I'm a firm believer. Most things, I don't want to call them odd. I don't really want to use paranormal, but I believe in a lot of different things. UFOs, ghosts. Not quite sold on Bigfoot. Mm-hmm. Do I think it's possible, though? Yes.
Robert, how about you? Paranormal, supernatural, UFOs. You believe in this stuff? What do you think?
Here's the thing. I don't mess with the voodoo because I don't want it to come get me. I believe in it. I mean, here's the thing. How messed up was 2020? The fact that during the pandemic, the federal government released documents that the Air Force intercepted 3 objects in the sky that they could not figure out what they were. And our world was so messed up that nobody cared. Like, it was on the news. They're like, oh, yeah, mask mandates today. Oh, by the way, the federal government identified as UFOs exist. Next story. Like, I think they're out there. It's just they keep stopping long enough for us to be like, you all are messed up. Next. Now, definitely. Bigfoot, I don't know. I think they would have found him by now.
So that's the key. Like,
or he'd be dead.
Well, yeah, but to me, where he's at are very, like, heavily wooded areas, and some of the places are, you would never find anybody out there.
Well, that's to say that Bigfoot or Sasquatch, however you want to refer to it, is a life expectancy of an animal we know of, or a person we know. You know what I mean? Like it could easily be like there's some turtles out there that live for hundreds of years.
Right.
And I don't know a damn thing about the subject when it comes to Bigfoot. I just know that what we don't know far outweighs what we know, I think.
Yeah. So, but yeah, UFOs, paranormal, I get into all that stuff.
He's found a very unique niche, and Diego has always had a way with just getting into the heart of these subjects. I listened to a couple of his episodes. It's a pretty good stuff. I mean, I myself never really would have thought to actually have conversations with some of these folks, but not just to seek them out, but to have these conversations, given an open platform, and really to hear them out, not just to ask them questions and come off maybe condescending, because I know there's shows out there that would do that, but genuine interest in finding out, hey, what's really happening. I mean, that's pretty cool to me. But that's Let's Find Out with co-host Diego. Like I said, it's at podpage.com/Let's Find Out with co-host Diego, and of course you can catch him on Anchor.fm.
Now let's try this though.
Yes.
Let's go on a ghost hunt. You down?
Sure, why not?
Oh yeah, but I'm not talking about just some ordinary place.
Okay, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about Waverly Hills Sanitarium. I know I've told y'all about it before.
Waverly Hills Sanitarium.
Mm-hmm. I know I've told you. Nobody wants to go.
This is in Louisville, Kentucky.
That's right.
Man, look at the website for this place. Wow. Website itself is creepy. And of course, there's ghosts walking through the little image on the website. That's cool. Man. So what's the story behind Waverly Hills? Tell me about it, man.
So starts off as a tuberculosis hospital. And that was a big thing early 1900s, for those of you that don't know. So, of course, they didn't understand tuberculosis, didn't know how to stop it, so they experimented on people. They horrific type experiments. They weren't able to really do anything with the cure or anything for some time. I think it was like 65,000 or something like that. Never walked down to that place. Mm-hmm. It was some crazy number. And it was built, it's 5 stories tall. The higher up you get, the worse, the crazier, I guess, the patients were. So in the very top, you had those that were just mentally insane that had tuberculosis, right? Because you had to have a place to put them. Basically, there were so many people that were dying that they decided, well, let's build a tunnel in this mountain so that we can take the dead bodies out, because we don't want people to, lose their. We don't want people to get upset because we're taking so many of these, so many people out of there. So they built the death tunnel. And when they would die, they would take them down this tunnel, and then they would put them on a train and take them out of there. Right. So that's pretty much the gist of it for that. And then when they beat tuberculosis, it turned into a sanitarium, which, for those who don't know, is the old term for a mental hospital. And then all types of shenanigans happened at the mental hospital. And ultimately, it's supposed to be one of the most haunted places in America. Oh, actually, the world, I think, not just America. So you see shadow people. You have things thrown at you. There's a bunch of cool videos about the little boy in the ball.
Little boy in the ball?
Yeah. So there's apparently a ghost of a little kid that likes to play with balls. And people take balls and they put them in rooms, and then they walk out of the room, and the balls will roll out of the room on their own and roll right down the hall.
That
Sounds
sounds kind of terrifying, actually.
So to take a tour, it's an overnight tour. You go in, they lock you in. Sorry, I was drinking a refreshing Coke. And basically, you have run of the place
I have run out of the place
to do your thing.
So I pulled up the website where you're kind of giving us the background here. This is a place that operated all the way up until 1981. It was closed down and quarantined in 1961. 1962, reopened as a nursing home, and was ultimately closed down roughly 20 years later. Wow.
We could do, I think it's Pennsylvania State Penitentiary. I think it's Pennsylvania State. There's another one in West Virginia. We got a lot of them. Y'all want to go? We'll go. We'll even call Diego.
What kind of stuff do you take with you on a ghost hunt?
Well, so since we would be, kind of amateuristic, because this would be our first one, right? Just like record devices, so your cell phone would work because it'll record, cameras, that type of things. If you were higher up, they have all types of expensive little gadgets that pick up, different things. So,
fresh underwear.
Right. Some Depends, just in case. I mean, damn. It truly sounds pretty scary. Like, you go overnight, and then I don't know a whole lot about ghosts, but isn't this kind of the type of thing that if you were, I don't know, you go in there and let's just say you insult one of the spirits, like, couldn't they go with you? Like, you could bring that kind of evil stuff home?
So you have, of course, this is the way I understand it. I'm not like majorly versed in this. I do know enough to be dangerous. So you have kind of like what's called like a residual haunt, which I think is the one that, you're in your bedroom and you hear footsteps at about the same time every night on the hardwood floor, the floor above you. Right. So that's kind of like residual. So they're just kind of stuck in a rut. They're not really doing anything. Then you have ones that'll, can interact and like draw energy and that type of stuff. So those are a little bit the next level. It'd be like, hey, here's a flashlight. I want you to draw energy from this and move that picture. And your flashlight goes dim as the picture frame flies across the room, right? The ones that follow you would probably be classified more as like demons if you're really into that type of stuff. Now that doesn't mean that a ghost can't just haul off and whack you, but I think most of the ones that might follow you home are going to be a completely different type. Those are the ones you don't really want to fool with.
That's the kind of stuff that I would not want to bring back with me. That would be kind of the thing that would keep me from really wanting to do something like that, is bringing something home that you're not supposed to bring home.
Well, so that's that's why you should never really fool with that stuff in your own house too.
Right.
Because while you might think it's kind of cool and woohoo, I'm talking to ghost.
Right.
Then,
you never know which ghost you're actually talking to.
Well, not only that, but there may not have been anything in the house prior to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've heard stories where people have just been goofing off, and next thing you know, there's something there that wasn't there to begin with, and then they won't leave. So, because again, do I think my house has issues in that regard? Yes. A lot more crazy stuff happened before my daughter was born, but it does creep up from time to time. And I would never let somebody come into the house and, screw around. I wouldn't set a digital recorder out and try and ask it questions just in case I piss it off.
Right. I mean, because it could be any number of things, and I'm not kidding. I mean, everything I've ever seen, I've watched a couple of these like ghost hunter shows before, and it could be a dialect you use, it could be a word you say. It's not necessarily you making fun of them, but they could just get insulted because it's from whatever time period or loop that they're stuck in. That would be what would freak me out.
Yeah. I mean, it freaks out a lot of people, but
yeah,
I would do it, if I found the right group.
Right. I mean, I've had experiences where with the spirits that I feel like they were spirits, but, that's why I have the motto of, I don't piss them off, I've been in buildings where things fly across the floor unexplained. I've been in buildings where hanging from a ladder, you see something walk by you and there's only two of you in this room and one's hanging, I'm on the ladder and the other guy's holding the ladder. And it's just, I'm like Brian, I'm not going to seek it out. I'm not going to piss it off. I'm going to, acknowledge it's there. Like, had a host family in Finland who said, hey, this house has spirits. This room is haunted. The way you know
Sleep
is
well.
if the picture by your... Huh?
Sleep well.
Yeah. And they said, the way you'll know is if the picture by your bed is turned in the middle of the night when you wake up. So, first thing I did was take the picture off the wall. Because if the picture ain't moving, I don't
know. So when you got up the next day, was the picture still where you put it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The host family comes in and they're like, why is the picture on the floor? I said, you said if it turns sideways, the ghost is here. If it's on the floor, I don't know if the ghost is here or not.
Okay. Ignorance is bliss, I guess.
Hell yeah. Especially in Europe. You know how many ghosts are over there? But, I mean, do I believe in ghosts? Yes. Do I believe in spirits? Yes. Do I want to go on a ghost tour with Brian to the crazy house in the middle of the woods? No.
Okay.
I will be in the car. I will drop you all off, and I will pick you up in the morning.
Well, those kinds of events are supposedly, it's not just the stuff you hear and see. I mean, it's the other effects. Like, you go in, you have a recorder, and the battery dies even though it was a full charge. Cameras randomly don't work. If you have thermal vision, it blanks out. People that take some of those really high advanced computers in there suddenly shut off even though they were plugged into a power source kind of thing.
Well, the even freakier ones are, there's one reason that I never used the Kinect for the Xbox is there would be all types of things caught on the Kinect that should have never been caught on Kinects.
Really?
So there's all types of videos where people would be like facing one direction, and then something would pop up behind them. And then they also, some people have used Kinects because you hook a Kinect up to a computer, like a laptop, right? And you can get it to track movement. And there's all types of videos where there's nothing there, but you can clearly, like see the shape of a person, like a stick figure with a Kinect hooked to, a laptop showing what the Kinect speed. And it's because it'll track movement. So it's tracking the movement of something, but what that is, who knows?
Yeah, I just sent you guys a link. Here's a link on WindowsCentral.com. It says, random news, Microsoft's Kinect finds new life tracking the undead used by ghost hunters.
Yeah.
Posted October 29th, 2021.
Yeah, and they've been using them for a lot longer than that. But yeah, I literally stopped using them after a couple of videos. Because, you'd have somebody like playing a game and streaming or something. And, of course, the Kinect is looking at their face, and then over behind them, like you'll see a mist or something start to form. And, that's kind of unnerving when you think you're the only guy, only thing in the room. And
that's more than kinda. I think that's really unnerving.
Yeah. So, but anyway, I can talk this all day. So, I can literally talk this all day.
Well, I think maybe we need to get you linked up with Diego. Perhaps you guys can go on a ghost hunt.
What do you mean? No. You two little jackasses are coming too.
Wait, what do you mean little jackasses? I think Rob's taller than you.
I don't care. Both of you would be going.
I was open to say I will go with you and drop you off.
Nope.
It'll be the ride.
And I'll be in the hotel down the street, unghosted.
Nope.
Behind
You're
the
both
locked
going.
door with the dresser in front of it.
You're both going. Sorry, Charlie. You would both be going.
I don't know about all that, bub. Some of that just, like I said, I'd be afraid of bringing anything home with me. Like, you never know. That stuff's creepy.
What if it gets on your shoe?
Paranormal activity.
What if it hitches a ride in your car and then it's like, ooh, I like this house better.
Right.
Oh well.
Your spirits go well with my spirits.
You'll be okay. All right, listen, I've even offered to pay people to go on these things.
I mean, ghost hunting is definitely out of my normal realm of comfort. I have no idea what I'd be doing in that.
I tried to pay multiple people just to do the graffiti house here in Culpeper. Like a group project from work. And I couldn't get no takers. Of course, it was going to be rigged, but oh well. Because there's one room in the graffiti house where, women get pinched, supposedly. So I was going to take a couple women, and they were going to go in that room.
That is yet another building I will not be in at dark. I didn't like being in there in the day. It was creepy during the day with people in it. The graffiti house. Salubria is supposed to be one of the most haunted places in Virginia.
Mm-hmm. You can't get into Salubria. That would take a miracle to get in that place.
Wait a minute, where's Salubria again?
On Route 3.
I don't know, man. Don't know. Don't even know if I want to know.
Suck it up. You'll be all right.
Suck it up. Listen to you.
You'd be okay.
Spangler of the group over here. You got Tobin Spirit Guide over there.
You'd be all right.
Well, I don't know. I guess it's all about what you believe and what remains to be seen, right? How does one transition from ghost hunting to professional wrestling? I don't know, but we're going to try to find out.
Very similar.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, if you start with WWE, it's like chasing ghosts.
Yeah, you got that right. It's a battle royal right now to decide who's going to challenge Gunther at Night of Champions for the Intercontinental title. More tag teams in this battle royal than really anybody else, by the way.
Yay. Triple H is making a positive change.
It's his new start. But I don't want to start with WWE tonight. I actually wanted to start
If you
with
believe
Dynamite.
that, you believe that there's some oceanfront property in Nevada that I would love for you to look at.
I'm sure there's a lot of buyers out there. Hey, officially, Rob, Brian has renamed from bobbleheads to ass hats. The ones that just can't fathom what's out there aside from WWE.
No. It's the ones that make dipshitted comments. Those are your ass hats. I know most of them can't fathom that there isn't life outside, but that could be anybody. Like, I'll take a shot at somebody, an AEW guy, if you can find one that says some stupid comment. You know, it's kind of like what Meltzer today, I think it was today, the article was about some WWE legend and made the comment that AEW is riding the WWE's coattails.
Oh, yes, I saw this post.
Yeah. And I thought it was kind of funny because that's pretty much how wrestling goes, right? So who was the asshat that said that? Refresh my memory.
The legend? Yeah, the legend who said WWE's coattails are being ridden by AEW is none other than Eric Bischoff.
Right. The same guy in 1996 brought Hulk Hogan to WCW, followed by Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Alundra Blaze,
Randy Savage,
Jim Duggan, Randy Savage, Brutus Beefcake,
the Honky Tonk Man.
Are you Roddy Piper, the Ultimate Warrior? Who am I missing? I know I'm missing like
Bret Hart.
A lot.
The Nasty Boys.
Bret Hart and well, I don't know about
Marty Jannetty, Rick Martel.
Tugboat. There's a good one.
Earthquake.
Bobby Heenan. Really? Really? This is the guy that's saying they're riding their coattails.
He brought them. It's called WWE South.
Basically.
This is what this is the bobblehead. This is the epitome of the bobblehead or asshat. Yeah, I'm just going to say asshat. Right?
Head in Athos.
Are you kidding me? You're going to talk crap about AEW because they're supposedly riding WWE's coattails. And your claim to fame is bringing in half the WWE's roster.
And his claim to fame is when he started to lose. Like, he won the Monday Night Wars because of the people that were there. And then when he started to lose, he couldn't right the ship.
Well,
Because,
I mean, he was responsible for breaking the ship.
Right.
Yeah.
And so then when they fired him, and then they realized, oh, crap, we're still screwed. And then they brought him back. They're like, oh, wait a minute. You can't catch lightning in a bottle twice? So,
I mean, it was. I read it and I was like, this is the guy.
but anything Meltzer puts out is all clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone from the guy who used to kind of almost know everything going on to what dumbass heading can I do to get somebody to click?
Yeah, but the thing about this one, though, is this is probably something he said, right? Because if not, Eric would have jumped all over him. And
Well, Eric said things before,
yeah,
and
but again, this is the dumbest thing Eric Bischoff has said. Because he made a fortune on WWE guys. And he let go bigger names. Jericho, Benoit, Eddie, goes on and on and on.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Like while you're riding the coattails of Hogan, Savage, Piper, you let go Benoit, Malenko, Saturn, Mysterio. Like, hello.
Jericho, Guerrero.
It's interesting because in the comments that Bischoff makes, here's the first one. Tony Khan had one unique advantage that Major League Wrestling MLW doesn't have, or anybody else. He had $100 million. He's got an unlimited budget. He's not accountable. It's a really, really, really well-funded hobby. And that's not a negative. It's not a do-or-die situation for Tony Khan. This is his passion. Well, how is he not accountable? You mean to tell me if he blows through, I don't know, what is it they lost in 1998 to 99? $250 million. You mean if he lost $250 million that, his investors, including his father, wouldn't hold him accountable? Jesus, if he spends time on a video game, he spent $1 million on a video game, and the whole internet decided that AEW was going to fail because Fight Forever didn't come out in 2021. Like, come on. What?
Yeah, but again, though, he says these things because he knows there are, like the average fan, they don't know. They don't know the history. We know. We know he rode the coattails of Hogan and them. We know that. Most of these people weren't even alive today. Oh my God, Eric Bischoff, he was a wrestling genius. Oh, really? Because he took $100 million company and rode it into the dirt in 5 years.
And there were points where along the way, until, of course, history gets revealed, that people did truly think that Eric Bischoff was a genius. And then, of course, as more facts come out and we start finding out all the decisions that he made that he said he didn't make, even Conrad Thompson holds him accountable on this podcast, 83 Weeks. If you want to listen to a great example of Eric Bischoff just kicking himself in the dick, listen to his defense of Sting and Hogan at 97, Starrcade 97. And listen to Conrad Thompson just bury him for being so stupid as to think that because a guy didn't have a tan and his quote-unquote head wasn't in the game, that they didn't decide to go with a clean victory. But instead, only a couple months later, decide to give him a clean win over Hogan and give him the belt anyway. Just brilliance. Brilliance. Here's the further quote that really is where Bischoff talks about it. Of course, this is from Strictly Business. He does a podcast on ad-free shows. AEW isn't contributing. AEW is taking advantage of the success of a WWE, for example. It is because there is this company called WWE that is worth $9 billion that makes executives in the industry go, we might be able to be worth $9 billion, but we could be worth a lot because the market is here. WWE has established a worldwide market for this product more than anybody else. If WWE would have been in the tank 4 years ago and would have been flatlining and not selling out arenas and just stumbling through pay-per-views, do you think Turner would have jumped on AEW?
What's Turner got to do with AEW?
Well, Turner is where they're on now.
He's still mad at Turner because Turner sold WWE.
Yeah. Does Turner even do anything?
No.
No, I mean, it's a Warner Discovery
Right.
networks,
But you see
the
what
way
I'm
he's
saying?
still living under the old
Yeah.
stuff.
Because he's like, well, nobody's going to pay attention to this.
Well, I've decided that any reference to Eric Bischoff from now on needs to be covered by Diego's show.
Okay. I'll ask the question. Why?
Because the crazy shit that's out there, the stuff that he just comes up with is like UFOs and shit. Like, yeah, it's worth a $9 billion. If it's like, all right. WWE was sold for $9 billion. If WWE didn't have all these already signed multi-million-dollar deals, they wouldn't be worth that.
Right.
But, I mean, are they the standard bearer of, like, you know, did they lay the groundwork for a lot of things? Yes. Why? Because they were the only act in town for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, you could sit here and go, WWE laid the groundwork. Well, of course. Because everybody else that tried to, WWE stamped them out of business. Or they had dumbasses leading them that tried to compete with food stamps, and it ain't working.
Well, look at more recently what they tried to do to Major League Wrestling and try to keep them from a streaming deal.
And then, I mean, the difference between the ones that have tried to compete in the past and AEW is AEW started as this offshoot, you know, we're going to do our thing. And what they did right was they came at it in a way that Vince's ego was like, oh, they're not going to be a threat. Look at them. You've got inmates running the asylum. They're not gonna do anything. Well, dumb shit. Yeah, they did. And here we are. And so that's why we're sitting here going, uh-oh. You know, and Eric's trying to cash in because he's got a Legends contract. But you can't tell me that if given the opportunity, he wouldn't have his little podcast or something sitting on All In. Or StarCast, you know what I mean? Like, come on, dude.
Yeah, poor Eric. He gives himself more credit than he's worth.
They let him come out that one time on AEW television, and they're mad because they didn't roll out the red carpet and kiss his ass like Vince does.
No. He's been trying to ride the whole look what I did in WCW since WCW folded, right?
Mm-hmm.
Under whose watch?
His.
Thank you.
The fact that they got bought out while he was in charge and he didn't know. Come on. He's like those guys that are stuck in the prime, you know, like we joke about, you know, the ones that come all over to the different conventions or whatever, and they're like making all their money on this one thing, you know? It's like,
he's like the Al Bundy. I've scored 4 touchdowns at Polk.
Right, exactly.
4 touchdowns.
He's the guy who peaked in high school. That every time you see him in the story, he's like, "Hey man, remember science class? You know, that was fun, wasn't it?"
Sorry, I had to get on that little tangent for a minute.
No, I figured there'd be an asshat of the week. I just didn't figure it would reveal itself in such easy fashion.
Oh, that early? Yeah, I just saw that today earlier. And again, I knew who said it, but I didn't want to just call him out like that. Then I said, "Screw it, let's do it."
Trust me, I'm sure he'll continue to do what he does, and he'll blame Meltzer for taking it out of context. But here's the thing: the quote that I read it from is from WrestlingInc.com, so it's not like Meltzer's the only person that heard it. And there's a lot of fans out there. It's not just us. There's tons of fans out there that know what really happened. You can't snowball people for but so long until finally somebody's like, wait a minute, that's not what happened.
Yeah, but I think he goes off of the premise of the modern fan who doesn't know their history, right? You know, the fans that have only known WWE, right? They don't know anything about WCW unless the WWE puts it on their, their Peacock. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like they never saw and didn't know the importance of Sting at the first Clash of Champions. They don't know the importance of Steamboat and Flair and the Horsemen. They didn't live the Horsemen, so they just it's what's on Peacock. It's they didn't live through Monday Night Wars. They didn't shoot. They didn't even know that what was the Monday Night WWE program called at one time?
Primetime Wrestling.
Yeah, there you go. It wasn't live. It was all taped.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I used to love when it was Primetime Wrestling.
Sure. McMahon and Heenan would be in the, that would be
a little control room or whatever, yeah.
Yeah. Or when they would spoof Johnny Carson and, have their guest and, the hijinks and stuff. But, hey, average fan today has no clue.
Trips me up about almost said Benoit, Bischoff, because, he came up in AWA in the 80s during all of these things that are happening. How do you not become aware of what these things really mean? You can't tell me a guy that comes in there and gets the vice president job at WCW in 94, 95. He 94. Gets this job and he doesn't know the magnitude of what the Four Horsemen brings to to wrestling in general, WCW. He doesn't know the magnitude of what Sting's match with Flair at Clash of Champions brought. That's what always tripped me up about him, because here's a guy that had vision, and I credit him that. But he had vision because of the benefit of the stars that he brought in, Hogan, Hall, Nash, etc. We just listed them, and he doesn't see Ric Flair and the Horsemen as marketable in a feud, even a long-term feud with the NWO.
Well, again, the problem with that is, you got people in his ear. You got people that it's known they had certain control. That's why, Hogan and Flair never really met WWE.
Yep.
Didn't quite have that control. Oh, I'm sure he had some, but he didn't have that kind. Because if he did, he probably would have never lost to the Warrior.
I wonder how many people have the "that doesn't work for me, brother" clause in their contract.
Very few.
Listen. Terry thinks that's a great idea, but I'm not sure that's what Hulk Hogan would do. Oh, Jesus. Just shoot.
And weren't there others with something similar too?
Yeah, I mean, both sides.
Did Nash?
Nash had it. I'm sure Shawn Michaels had it towards the end of his run before he got hurt.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking like WCW. I
don't think Scott Hall had it, but I'm sure he had influence. I don't think Randy Savage had it, although he should have.
But again, that's why the Horsemen were dogged out.
Yeah.
If you
back then?
Nash had it for a while. Bischoff had it. Didn't Dusty? I think might have had it for a little bit.
I was going to say, had Dusty gone up north by that point behind the scenes, or is he still there?
So Dusty's there, pretty much the entirety of Bischoff's run. And Bischoff takes over in 94. Dusty has the book in 94. Flair has the book for a portion of 94. Bischoff takes over officially with the book when Hogan comes in and starts maneuvering the pieces. 95 goes, and it's basically Bischoff, Kevin Sullivan, and Dusty. Then 96 comes in, and that's where Hall and Nash arrive. And now it's basically a Hogan, Hall, and Nash and Bischoff show.
And Dusty, brother, it's going up north to see,
Right.
So, well, you got to think. Everybody gives Eric the kudos on the NWO.
Mm-hmm.
But what if it was originally a brainchild of Dusty? And that's why when Dusty was gone, Eric couldn't do shit because he couldn't remember what Dusty did in the first place.
I don't know. But you are getting too excited over that. Holy cow, you're yelling.
He's got the Dusty impression down, though.
Yeah, he do.
Don't get jealous, brother.
I don't think it would have been a Dusty thing, because if it had been a Dusty idea, we'd have seen a lot more back and forth, a lot more give and take. We'd have seen the beatdowns, but we would have never seen 12 NWO members. We'd have seen a rival group at some point get built up, and there would have been a payoff. I think had it been a Dusty plan, he would have seen it as a way to a finish. I just don't think Bischoff, and Bischoff's admitted this on his own podcast, by the way, Bischoff just didn't know how to book a finish for any match or feud. He was always in search of that guy that would help him. He said the other day that he was looking for a guy that would basically be his version of Pat Patterson.
Well, that explains why we didn't have a finish for 3 years.
Well, his guy that he hired to do that was Johnny Ace, John Laurinaitis.
Well, I mean, have we even figured out who ran over Savage or Goldberg in the Hummer, whoever it was?
Never found out who was in the white Hummer.
There you go, Eric. Start with that. You want to finish? Tell us who was driving the Hummer.
Gosh.
But it simply amazes me that, like, you're so caught up in your own world that you can't see that you screwed up so bad that you took a company that was around for 100 years and you ran them in the dirt. And then you got the nerve to talk about a brand new, company that's trying to do things. And not only, let's not forget that, hey, Eric, what'd you do at Impact? Oh, I know what you did at Impact because I used to watch Impact. Because at one time, Impact had a hell of a roster until a couple people showed up. And then you tried to recreate Glory, and how'd that work out for you?
Not well. Right now, as of 23 hours ago, according to WrestleTix on Twitter, AEW has sold 65,979 tickets. Well, they've distributed 65,979. Estimated paid so far 61,346. The current setup is 74,025, with another 10,000 set to be released. No, I'm sorry, 15,000 roughly being held back until they can verify sight lines and set builds and all that stuff. If you stop ticket sales today, if you said you're sold out, just called it was 65. You have to look at All In All In 2, as an astronomical success. Because you haven't listed a single match. You haven't advertised one name, one talent, not even a damn announcer. It's just AEW's coming to London, coming to Wembley. I mean, that's unparalleled. I don't give a damn who you are. And if Bischoff comes into his podcast and says, that's just blah, blah, blah. Okay, Bischoff, could WCW have gone to London? Nope. You tried. You went to the Wembley Arena and you barely did 8,000.
For shame.
WCW had big ticket draws. The Georgia Dome, 42,000. Okay, cool. But AEW has surpassed you. It's okay to say, hey, they blew the doors off what we did. Way to go. Keep moving. It's okay to be positive and praise these guys. Like, what the hell? Why would you want to just tear him down? Here's the thing. Brian, you mentioned it. I think Rob did too. He's under this Legends deal with WWE, so obviously he's going to do what he thinks he's got to do to protect his own interests and, of course, to get, clicks to his podcast and listens and everything. But, at what point do you start to, okay, let's say, as somebody once told me, let's take the B out of bullshit here and just recognize that they're doing something phenomenal. Like, come on. Triple H has even indicated to his people, and he's even liked the tweets from AEW celebrating their ticket sales, that they were close to selling out Wembley. His AEW's direct competition is saying, damn, good job.
Well, but they should, because at the end of the day, that's good for business.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, again, I'm not going to sit here and say that Triple H is setting the world on fire.
Right.
But I've never once said that he doesn't know business.
No.
You can make mistakes as a promoter, but still know business. That's good for business. And that's what Triple H is acknowledging. Because again, okay, man, they've just surpassed all but what, 1 or 2 pay-per-views of theirs?
Just about, yeah.
Okay. So while the numbers are still, sitting at around 900,000 for AEW, there's hope that in a year, that 1.5, right? 1.25, whatever, right? You know who also benefits from that? Go and say it. Somebody smarten them up. The WWE benefits from that.
Yep.
Because the WWE wants to go back to the numbers they were getting during the Monday Night Wars, right? The only way you can do that is with competition.
If AEW increases its market share from the 880,000 where they're currently averaging to 1.2, Warner Discovery will have 0 complaints, for the record. They're getting ready to announce a TV deal. Never mind all that, right? Because that's going to be fucking huge. And I don't give a damn what anybody says. That will change the game by itself, and that will improve business.
Yes.
If Max comes out with a streaming deal, as they've stated they want to, and do a concentration on live streaming sports to include AEW, now you're cooking with gas. And only a fool would look at WWE and say that they won't benefit from it. Because of course they will. Your audience grows for the industry of professional wrestling, and another company can't benefit from that? No, of course they do.
Yeah, but here's what the misconception with marketing, right? Or with money, right? Okay, so they're on TBS, right? TBS has only dumped so much money into them. TNT, whatever, right? They've only dumped so much money into them so far, which was, I think, $5 million or something. Guess what you don't see a lot of? You don't see a lot of AEW commercials, right?
Right.
Well, guess what $1 billion is going to get you? Because that's supposedly the reported number. Some whack number like that. Guess what that's going to get you? That's a lot more advertising time, isn't it? That's a lot more. Oh, we can put our wrestlers on cereal boxes. We can put our wrestlers in magazines. We can put our wrestlers on, send them out to TV and do interviews. See how that works? They get money. They can start making a whole dent. More people you bring in to things like that, the more people can watch your product. And then eventually their numbers will grow. But it costs money.
Now, SummerSlam, which is on August 5th, those tickets are available still. However, current tickets distributed, $39,849. Current setup has them to be able to seat just over 44,000, 44,604. Forbidden Door, 12,972 is the current setup. There's only 91 tickets available. Not a single match. Not a single freaking match announced for either one of those shows. Let's see here. I had another one I wanted to pull up. Here's one that I still think that this could change, but this raised my eyebrow. Double or Nothing, which is scheduled to take place on the 28th of May. Current setup for 9,872. Total distributed 69.59. So you got about 3,000 tickets left. That a lot of people have said that that's because of the fact that they've been back and forth to Vegas so often. I don't know. Is that possible? Could the Vegas area just be they've hit that well too many times? I mean, what do you think?
And when is the pay-per-view?
The 28th of this month. 13 days away.
Okay. And what matches have been announced?
Double or Nothing's card's actually almost finished. Let me pull that back up here. I just had it. Here we go. So we got FTR against Jarrett and Jay Lethal. We got MJF defending against Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy, Darby Allin. We got Jericho and Adam Cole, which hasn't been made official yet. For some reason I thought we had more there. So no, there's actually quite a bit to be unfolded there.
So maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe everybody's just waiting because there are tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? If you got a town it's just like Chicago. Chicago ain't letting them down. Mm-hmm. They used to run the same arenas back in the day constantly. You know how many times Richmond got Starrcade? I mean, not Richmond, DC got Starrcade.
Like 3 or 4 years in a row.
Yeah. Right? Norfolk, Richmond, Charlotte. At one time they were running the big shows like that in the same arenas. So I'm not putting any stock, and this could be the same for the WWE, right? A pay-per-view, I don't really look at the numbers on the pay-per-views all that much. Because those are, they show up, once a month? So you might get a pay-per-view every so many months in your area. To me, it's more important for Raw or SmackDown or Dynamite to see those numbers than actual pay-per-view.
I figure this week we should see some kind of formal announcement with the BCC and the Elite. I'm sure there'll be a match there. I'm almost positive it's going to be Adam Cole against Chris Jericho. Jamie Hayter probably defending against maybe Saraya. Those are the ones, if I had to pick off the top of my head, those are probably the ones I would predict, but I'm sure there's a ton more to be announced. So yeah, to your point, maybe it's just waiting to see what else is announced, just to see what's unfolded, and then maybe we see a surge there. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I mean, if Omega's partner is Ibushi, you don't think the numbers aren't going to go? One-eyed Hangman Page, you don't think the numbers aren't going to go?
Yeah, I think that'd be a huge draw. To be honest with you, either one, if we're really looking at it. Looks like the layout that we talked about last week for how that match may be unfolding. Well, Don Callis showed us his true colors, I guess. Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley have a great cage match, just really, really good. Just beating the holy shit out of each other, especially with I guess it was supposed to be a V trigger that puts himself and Mox like right outside the cage. That was ridiculous. But the finish comes out where Omega has got Mox on his shoulders, hits the one-winged angel. Don Callis breaks up the pin by stabbing Kenny Omega in the head with a screwdriver. I mean, I thought he was going to maybe turn on Omega. If you had told me Don Callis is going to stab someone with a screwdriver, I'd have said, I don't know about all that. But damn. So I guess Don Callis is going to be, well, we're going to find out his complete reasoning this coming Wednesday, but maybe he's the manager behind the BCC now?
Possible. I mean, that would probably be a good thing. I think they probably do need a manager. Shame Regal went back.
Yeah.
Now that this thing is really, the feud is really starting to take off.
He would have been so good in this role.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he would have.
He's just trying to get Kenny to find that extra level. Kenny's gotten soft.
Danielson keeps saying amateurs. It always cracks me up. It just reminds me of when he was the planet's champion and calling all of the fans fickle back in the day a few years ago. Cracks me up. And then you see his face when Callis stabs him in the head. He's got that crazy goofy ass smile on his face.
Yeah, that was a good match, though.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
What did you think about the 8-man tag to start off the show with Cole and Roderick Strong and Orange Cassidy and I think it was Bandito? Yeah, it was Bandito. Against Butcher and the Blade, Kip Sabian, and God, I don't remember who the other guy was. Damn it, I hate when I forget that stuff.
Might have been at the kitchen or something. Maybe. I don't really remember that too much. So you'll have to forgive me. I don't remember. So what did you think of it?
One, I think, and I put it in the chat, I think Orange Cassidy's got to be like the MVP for AEW right now. Most consistent performer they have. And just continues to just show out every opportunity he has. And that's not a dig at Roddy Strong or Adam Cole. I thought they had a great showing too, but Orange Cassidy's just amazing. And he's just finding more and more ways to really, really bring it home. And I think he's one of those guys that kind of the sky's the limit. And as he continues to get more and more comfortable on television, he just seems to find different ways to keep the old Orange Cassidy character and intermingle it with just a guy that runs full bore. It's really, really cool to see.
Yeah, but I think you're kind of biased on Orange Cassidy.
I like Orange Cassidy.
Does one of your family like absolutely love Orange Cassidy?
No. My daughter is crazy about Darby Allin. Get it right.
Oh, Darby Allin.
Very specific. Okay. She likes Darby Allin.
Oh. Okay, never mind. Either way, they both suck.
Damn, that's not very nice. I thought.
No, I mean he's fun to watch, but I'd much rather see him wrestle at the speed he can wrestle at.
Mm-hmm.
At least one match. Cut out some of the comedy stuff.
Well, he's got a real challenge with Kyle Fletcher, one half of the United Empire, and that is most likely going to be at not Forbidden Door, Double or Nothing.
Well, when's Forbidden Door?
Forbidden Door is that is. I just had to pull it up. That is June 25th.
Yeah, but that may carry over.
Mm-hmm.
So. Maybe.
Rob, you're awful quiet on these AEW matters. Any thoughts here, sir?
On what?
I don't know, the AEW thing I just asked you about.
You said AEW matters.
Yeah, like
AEW
any
does
of it.
matter.
Okay. Thank you for your astute observation, sir.
I like the United Empire. I'm
Okay.
impressed. And so, like, them being on American television is just making me excited because it's just, they go every week like the caliber of Will Ospreay, and it's just, it's kind of like, it reminds me of what Ricochet used to do, and then I get sad.
Oh, well, don't get sad, Rob. It's
because it's like I think Ricochet's even forgot what he used to do.
Yeah, now he just gets thrown around by Braun Strowman.
But yeah, so I mean, I'm excited to see them on TV. I'm excited to see that going on. Is that going to be a great match? Yes. So, I mean, Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy. I there's times I could take it or leave it.
Oh wow. Man.
What?
I'm on an island by myself when it comes to Orange Cassidy. Okay.
I kind of agree with Brian. Like, the comedy sometimes overshadows his ability.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like Darby Allin. How many times can Darby Allin be thrown like a lawn dart and get up? Eventually, his spine and his body is going to be like, "No, dude, we're done."
I have serious questions about Darby when it comes to his own thoughts on his well-being, because he really does put himself really through some crazy shit. I thought the Double Jeopardy match between Phoenix and Claudio was really good. Man, it just reminds you just how good Phoenix is singles as well as doing tag matches. I mean, Claudio it goes without saying. Phoenix is great, but we only see him really in tag team matches lately. So this was a good chance to remind us, no, he's still just as good in the ring by himself.
Who, Claudio?
Phoenix. Ray Phoenix.
Oh. I was going to say Claudio's your ROH champ, so he should be good, but I stand corrected. Talking about Phoenix. Ooh. Phoenix.
Ray Phoenix.
That was kind of an odd pairing, though, why wouldn't it have been Penta?
I don't know. Isn't he usually of the two of them, the one that does more singles matches?
Mm-hmm. I think so. I believe so.
what do you think of the House of Black's new rules for the trios titles?
I haven't quite figured it out. Don't they have the do they have the choice of what rule to follow per week or?
So let me pull this up. The way it was explained to me, House of Black trios title rules. Basically, they could set it where it's called the open house rules. Let me pull this up. Here we go. Under house rules, the following applies: 1.20 seconds countouts. Excuse me, 20 seconds. Damn it.
1.2 second count
Yeah,
out.
that's great. Well, number 1, 20-second countouts. Because you will not be safe on the outside, you will not run away when it gets hard. We force you to be harder or force you to cave in under the pressure. Number 2, no rope escapes. Because the true nature of man is measured in its ability to withstand pain, there is no easy way out. You will fight or submit. Number 3, DQ is enforced. You break the tradition, you forfeit your chance. The entire world will watch as you admit you do not have what it takes and must live with this embarrassment your entire life. Good God. Never made a DQ sound so bad. And then number 4, dealer's choice. You decide what the last rule is. Why? Because it's fair and balance is all we have. So
Okay.
you could literally say anything goes. Or you could say ladder match, or that's my interpretation of that.
They didn't give them a list of stipulations. Like these are the steps.
No, that's the thing. It's such an open, just an open platform that I was like, well, I don't really know. When I saw it the first time, I was like, oh, okay, 20-second countouts. Isn't that what AEW started with? Weren't they gonna go with that? Wasn't that New Japan's rules they were trying to kind of mimic?
I think you're right.
I
think it was a longer outside.
And it was longer on the tag team rules too. Wasn't it supposed to be 10 seconds instead of 5?
That I don't remember.
They don't really hold to that very well anyway.
Oh, who does?
I like
Right.
the disqualification description though. You must live with this embarrassment your entire life. Damn. Okay.
That's harsh.
Don't break the rules, Jesus. Sorry.
You will be banished forever.
I mean, it's obvious that the way that they're going to get beaten is when someone says, "I'll take dealer's choice," and the rule I choose is there are no rules. Boom. That's how the titles get changed.
Or a handicap match or something crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
All of Team Jarrett and Lethal. Some enhancement guy just got squished on a camera on Raw just now. That hurt. So I don't know how this tag team is pronounced. Indus-Sher, INDUSSHER. Basically, Jinder Mahal's tag team. Wrestling 2 job guys. One guy just takes a pump kick to the face while he's standing on the apron. He turns to just bump outside, and a cameraman's standing there, and he just lands on the camera. The cameraman doesn't move, by the way. The guy just falls off. I bet you he's going to get
You had one
screamed
job,
at.
man.
He's going to get screamed at when he gets to the back. How dare you try to break our camera? Jeez. I hate Jinder Mahal. He sucks so bad.
This author has it on good authority that the Queen's growing.
He was a former champion.
Blah. They should have
He
continued
is
to
your
hinder Jinder.
Maharaja.
You're right.
Listen,
Maharaja.
you can't say nothing, right? I mean, he was never going to get there, takes
True.
a sabbatical, comes back, better shape, finally gets a decent program, and look what he got.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right on that. He did the work, came back, ready to go. U.S. title, world title. Not bad. pretty good turnaround for a guy that, was in 3MB before that.
That is a Hall of Fame tag team right there.
3-man band?
Wouldn't it be hilarious if that's how they all get in the Hall of Fame one day?
Oh, my God.
Like, they don't
That would
get
be
in
funny.
on their individual achievements. They just go, we're putting in 3-man band.
Heath Slater'd be all about it.
He got kids, man.
Let's see here. Just scrolling through the news. It's always interesting to hear this stuff, but we kind of veered into uncharted waters with the paranormal stuff. That was kind of cool. Ken Anderson says he's not surprised that he hasn't been asked back to WWE. He says, I said some really shitty things on my way out the door. No shit.
Well, the fact that nobody needs you, dude. Like,
I mean, he got a bum rap when he got released. It wasn't really all that fair. He was blamed for an injury to Randy Orton that didn't even really happen. Randy turned out to be fine. And then he, of course, tears his tricep, gets taken out of Money in the Bank. And they come to find out that they released him because they thought he was injury prone. Turned out he was actually healthy.
Might have been a mistake, but it's not like he really did anything after leaving either. So, is he in NWA now?
He wrestles just kind of doing independence now. He's done some work in the NWA, but nothing regular.
I see. So, yeah, I mean, do I think he probably did get a little bit of a bum rap with that title shot? Yeah, because I remember when it happened, he had to turn it over. I do think he probably kind of got a rap, but it's the WWE though. They're going to do what they want. Because is he the only one still that had to give it up that way?
Yeah, I mean, he's the only one that I've seen that had to basically, when they thought he was hurt, they had him lose to Edge, and it turned out he wasn't hurt. And he comes back and actually does tear his tricep, only to find out that if he had never been taken out of the match, he would have been the guy that beats The Undertaker at SmackDown that night. That's some shit right there. I mean, I think I'd understand being pissed off in that situation. Plus,
so
Randy Orton back then really did him dirty.
Was Taker the champ?
Yeah, he was world champion. That's when Edge cashed in on Taker after Mark Henry beat the piss out of him.
Oh, wow.
It's like 2008-ish.
That would have been a hell of a win. I'm tired.
Feels like it's been a long week already, but it's only Monday. What the hell?
Yeah, it was a long week. Every week's a long week.
AEW was in Salem, Virginia this past weekend.
There we go.
Hangman Page did a special appearance because apparently he was advertised and then he was taken off because of the eye injury. And he came out with eye patch on and beat the holy snot out of Big Bill is what I've been reading on Twitter.
Well, the fact the Civic Center did a whole thing about how Virginia's own Adam Page is going to be here for like weeks. Whoops. Our bad.
What did you guys think of the firm deletion?
Still haven't watched it.
No, Rob, have you watched it?
I watched part of it. I
Uh-huh.
will say, like, I kind of feel like they're trying to catch lightning in a bottle again.
Yeah.
You know, like when they did it the first time in the Lake of Regina, whatever.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah. Like, you know, that was one thing, but I like what they're trying to do. I like they're trying to give Jeff Hardy some, you know, a send off, like a way to kind of come back and reclaim his, you know, legend, I guess, at one point, as you say it. So
I'd let him go to ROH.
I agree. I mean, I think like they brought Matt Hardy in, and I would agree with Brian. If you didn't send them to ROH, they're just going to like be mid card. Like I don't see Matt Hardy at this point going past that, or Jeff. You know.
Do the Hardys end up being the AEW tag champs before they finally retire?
I mean, I could see it if the circumstance is relevant, but as of right now, with what they've got, no.
I mean, would you put them over?
No, not over
FTR?
FTR right now, no. I don't know what tag team I would put over FTR right now. Like this moment. Like eventually the Bucks.
Lethal and Jeff are gonna.
Don't say that. Don't say that. Why are you doing that? No. Why are we putting a title on Jeff Jarrett?
Because he's an American treasure.
Oh my God. Oh my God. No. God, why? Maybe that's why ticket sales aren't doing so hot in Vegas. They think Jarrett's going to sing With My Baby Tonight. Oh my God.
They're just mad because he sold them gold bars and now he's showing back up.
They want refunds.
Sorry, but I think it's happening.
Do you? Is it just because of the fact that FTR has come out ahead in the past few weeks, or what?
No, it's because FTR dropped Jay Briscoe on his head.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Oh, he's back.
And Skype strikes again.
He changed his tampon and rejoined us.
It was the Jarrett thing. The Jarrett thing crashed my internet.
We figured you were mad at us.
Why would I be mad at you?
Because your hair follicles.
Your nerves are as finicky as your follicles.
Ouch. Wow. Give me at least a little bit more credit than that. I got a little bit thicker skin than that. Maybe not a lot, but a little bit. Just a teeny bit. Brian, have you played Tears of the Kingdom yet?
Mm-mm. Have you?
I have not. I did watch a little bit of a playthrough. I guess the first 15, 20 minutes of it, kind of the tutorial beginning where you learn how to do all the different functions. It looks like they're really incorporating a lot more puzzle solving. It looks like they're incorporating a lot more puzzle solving in this game than they did the last one.
I've heard some crazy amount of time dumped in that thing, though. like 80 to 100 plus hours to get like everything.
Oh, wow.
I need to finish the other one first.
I have
I'm
yet
going
to
on
finish that one.
vacation soon. I'll probably take it with me.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Rob, there's a new Star Trek game coming out.
Is there?
It's called Resurgence. It's a narrative adventure game featuring dialogue choices, relationship building, and exploration. Could be kind of interesting.
Yeah. Is that what you shared the other day with like Spock on the hill?
No, I don't think so.
That was pretty cool footage.
Like,
What was... Sorry, Rob.
They're also talking about doing a new show because the new season of Picard, there's a lot of Easter eggs and spoilers of like the future and fate of different Star Trek legends. And right now, the only two good Star Trek games I found are Timeline and Fleet Command, and they both, you hit a certain point, it's like, you can't go any further.
And those are both mobile games, right?
Yeah, I play them and it's fun, but yeah, it's exciting. I mean, I like the fact that apparently there's already another Star Trek show going to start based on the end of Picard, using most of the characters except obviously Patrick Stewart because he's 105.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just like, if you watch season 1 of Picard, you know why he can live longer. So if you haven't watched it, whoops, sorry, my bad.
I would really want to do a full Star Trek watch through, like from the TV show through the movies to Next Generation movies, and just watch all the way through. I bet that would be a real task.
Heck yeah, man! There's like 6 years.
That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of content.
Well, the funny thing is how Patrick Stewart didn't want to do it at first. Like,
didn't want to do Star
his
Trek.
His agents is like, hey man, just do me a favor, go to the read, go see what it is. You're a serious actor. They probably won't like you anyway. And then Gene Roddenberry's like, that's my guy. And then they originally were going to have him wear a wig because he was bald. But then that got changed. But yes, I truly believe you can be a fan of Star Wars and Star Trek, people. I'm sorry, get over yourself.
Oh, absolutely. They're both very good.
Oh, yeah. And there's a new Star Wars coming out, like supposedly Rey, set 15 years in the future.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Well, I know Jedi Survivor just came out. That game looks like incredibly difficult. You're talking about a movie, though.
Well, Jedi Survivor, I've watched my son play it. Christian, I've watched him play it. He does fun, but like, even a kid who's played from the first game to this game,
Jesus,
reclaim the Jedi's like 15 years out in the future. Have y'all seen the YouTube videos of Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, like the characters, Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor watching Mandalorian?
No, I have not.
It's like there's that whole scene in Mandalorian where they're helping Grogu, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like Hayden Christensen's like, oh, I should have looked in there. Like,
Hayden Christensen's got a cool just attitude about his legacy in Star Wars and the role he played. I like how comfortable he is with it. Man, I think the only movie he really did after that was what, Jumper? I don't think he did much else after that, and then Mandalorian when he came back for the Darth Vader role.
yeah. I was kind of just, I'm like, they made all this big deal about it, and then there's like, boom.
Oh, I said it was Mandalorian. I meant Kenobi.
Yeah, get it right, dude.
I know. Damn it. What the hell? Are they making
So
another
happens when these
season of
Battlestar
Kenobi?
Galactica people, you know, these Stargate people come into the worlds of Star Wars. I'm sorry.
Never got into Stargate. And I barely remember Battlestar Galactica. Beware the Cylons. I remember that.
Sorry. Deep Sea Ocean or Deep Quest or
Oh,
Sea
no.
Quest.
Oh, God, not Sequest. Jesus, no.
See, I don't know what it's called because my mom always referred to it as Deep Sea Ocean. And then when Star Trek Deep Space Nine came out, she's like, is that Deep Space Ocean?
That had that kid, the one that was in the Chuck Norris movie. What was his name? He died like really young. Jonathan Brandis?
Oh, he was in that movie, like, what was it, Sidekicks or whatever?
Yeah, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Did I tell everybody you want to know what Chuck Norris's ego is? It was a movie written and directed by Chuck Norris about a kid who idolizes Chuck Norris.
Starring
Chuck Norris. But all of us would, given the chance, we would make the same movie. Who do you idolize? Well, me, of course.
I am the hero in my own movie. Don't know what I'd be the hero of, but whatever. Diablo 4 did their server slam this weekend. Brian, did you play it at all?
No, but I've never in my life heard such a bunch of whiny ass bitches.
Really? Okay, do tell. Because I didn't really get a chance to really get into it this weekend. So what did you see? Or hear?
All you gotta do is pay attention to Facebook. It was too hard. It was, we didn't get the legendary drops like they said we were going to get. And we only got to play so much of the game. And, oh, man, I'm level 10 trying to beat the world boss, and I can't beat it. And I'm with a group of level 10s, and we all can't beat it. Typical people that don't have any clue what a Diablo game is.
Or the fact of what a free beta is.
Yeah. Or the fact is a slam on the servers.
Right.
To try and stress them out.
Mm-hmm.
Stop the whining.
I didn't see any of that this weekend. But there again, I don't see a lot of Diablo stuff on Facebook. Usually when I see Diablo stuff, it's on Twitter.
Oh, there's a really nice Diablo 4 community out there on Facebook. And most of them are whining about, not most, but a lot of them were whining about how incomplete the game is. And it's a beta. And how they had to get their money back. And again, they could claim they've played a Diablo. You could claim you've played one. But you can tell which ones say, well, I've been playing Diablo since the first game. And some of them are whining about it. Are you kidding me? Do we need to load up Diablo 1 and 2 and talk about how hard it was?
I was going to say Diablo 2 was ridiculous. I didn't beat Diablo 2. That took me ages. I want to say I got to Act 3. Remember, it was 4 discs. That damn game It was ridiculous. And then when they did Resurrected, I got it on Xbox when they re-released it. And I remember being mad because I paid full price for it, and I was angry because when they re-released it, it kept crashing on Xbox. But I saw it through. They eventually fixed it. That's a true story. They did eventually put some patches out.
Yeah, but it's just like crazy. Like you dump hundreds of hours into this game for the sole purpose of trying to find equipment that allows you to move up tiers.
Yep.
I mean, literally, you could go for weeks and weeks and weeks trying to get this piece of equipment and still never get it. That's what Diablo is.
Yeah, Diablo has evolved so much over that. Remember the first one in '95 when it comes out, the beta? That by itself was like 6 levels, 6 dungeons, and that was ridiculously hard. You want to talk about wearing out a mouse? Click, 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 like crazy. Just you could wear out a mouse pad and a mouse real easy on the first one. And that was just from the beta. I never played it online with the first one. I played it online a little bit on the second one, and then of course Diablo 3 was pretty much all online. So
yeah, I played the piss out of. So I have 1, I have 2, I have 3. I've had multiple incarnations of each. From I have the disc, the PC disc for 1 and 2 upstairs. I have 2 on the Xbox. I've had 3 when it was on the not the Series X. What was the one before this? Was on the what was after the 360? The one.
Xbox One, yeah.
Yeah, I had it on the 1. I have it on the Series X. I'm sure I have the actual disc floating around the house. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm great at Diablo, but listen, if you don't know fucking Diablo, don't goddamn order Diablo or go ask somebody first.
It was the same as when people complained about Diablo Immortal. I thought all that complaining was much ado about nothing. Play it free or pay for it. What's the big fucking deal? Like, if you don't want to buy the stuff, don't buy the stuff. You can still play it endlessly,
yes.
without having to pay a single penny.
Yes.
That's the argument with any game, though. You know, but because wait a minute, that person gets more levels than I do. Then that person also bought the passes. You know,
but to a point though. But Diablo is designed in such a way that once you start hitting higher world tiers or whatever they're called, you better have the right equipment or you're going to get destroyed quick.
True.
I don't remember what was the highest I played on in 3, but you could tell a difference between a world tier. So I had to back it down every so often. You know, I'd put it up. Oh no! Maybe I should go back down. Sometimes you might have to jump down too and find the right equipment and then go back up. And
yeah, the difficulty levels on Diablo were set that way with 3 for a reason, like for you to to progress up through the tiers. And it really reminds me. I mean, I think they're one of the first games that Blizzard has done that managed the microtransactions the right way. That's what I thought they did. Like, I'm still not a big fan about how World of Warcraft handles it. Because you literally got to pay for everything if you really want to move forward in World of Warcraft. And I like playing that game, but I can't see spending, what is it, $15 a month for their game time. And then if you want the mounts and the upgraded blah, 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 blah. I mean, there's so much stuff. It's really ridiculous. Diablo Immortal let it out there where it came out on mobile. Now, granted, the download for it was like 80 freaking gigabytes, which is retarded, but whatever. The download for it was one thing, but the way they did it was you could play free and still progress up the tiers. And if you wanted to spend money, it wasn't exactly ridiculous. It was like $5 for a battle pass when it first started on beta. Diablo 3 managed to do it where you could pay for the season pass, or you could literally just play through progression offline. As offline as it lets you. You replay it all the time without really spending anything, except for what you pay for the game.
Yeah, it's most games with season passes. They're not pay to win.
Right.
Diablo Immortal was a little bit different, but although I never really quite saw, or maybe I didn't quite understand, I hadn't really figured out how that was supposed to be pay to win. Again, the thing about Diablo's not meant to be beaten in 50 hours.
Right.
It's not meant
endless.
to be, yes, it's not meant to be beaten in 100 hours. This is a game. I don't remember when Diablo 3 came out, how long ago it is. But you still have people playing Diablo 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'll lay you money you still probably have people playing Diablo 2.
Oh, yeah. There's a huge community out there for Diablo 2.
Yeah, in the whole hopes of finding the perfect rolled chess piece.
Right.
This is what some people don't understand. You're not playing, like a Zelda game. This isn't a Zelda game where from start to finish is only going to tie you up so much. Then you're going to put it on the shelf and forget about it. No. This has been a thriving community since one. I mean, at one point, I think it held the record for the biggest item that was sold on the marketplace for real money. I mean, there was an item that sold for ridiculous money, real life money, in Diablo 2 back when it first came out. Back before, I think they changed the store after that.
Well, didn't they used to? Didn't players used to have the ability to sell their accounts on eBay?
No, you could sell items, like in-game items, for real money. So I could, if I found the I found the perfect rolled, sword, I could put it up on the auction house for real money, and people would buy it. It's, I mean, if you've never touched a Diablo game, this may not be for you, and that's okay. But in the same breath,
the other day.
Yeah. In the same breath about Diablo, just understand what it is and move on. Stop being whiny little bitches about it. Oh my God, the beta was so hard.
It really wasn't.
Oh my God.
I thought it was scaled properly. I mean, it played just like it was supposed to, in my opinion. There were a couple things that were glitched, but they fixed them on the following patch. I don't think there was ever a problem.
Yeah, so
if it was the opposite, people would bitch about that too.
No, not on this one. No. Because you can tweak. When I say world tier, you can tweak the level on Diablo.
Yeah.
That's not hard to tweak. You can tweak it to the point where you're like, oh, that's too hard. Let me go back. That's just how Diablo is. So, what Diablo 3 was anyway. I think there were 11 world tiers or 13 something on Diablo 3. I think I might have gotten to 6 or 7. So,
well, In big breaking news today, WWE Supercard did announce the unveiling of the latest quest and character to come into the game. Freaking RoboCop. Huh?
Wait, he was a WCW superstar. Ask Eazy-E.
Oh my God. Capital Combat.
Ask Eazy-E.
I saw that. I was
was
like, what?
One of the greatest things he ever did.
Right next to Lasertron.
No, I think Lasertron was before him.
Well, Capital Combat was 1990. That's before Bischoff. So.
Oh, that's before Bischoff too.
It's probably a Dusty thing.
Sorry, he didn't. Yeah, maybe it's a Dusty
time,
thing.
baby.
Wow.
DC Dual Force is set to come out later this year. It's the DC Comics answer to Marvel's Snap, but it looks like it's a lot more involved. Could be a lot of fun. There's DCDualForce.com if you want to take a look at some of the gameplay. There's samples there, and then YouTube's got a ton of tutorials already. So they're getting ready for a pretty large launch.
Yeah, right. It'll probably be like DC Heroes and Villains. It'll take 5 years to fucking get here.
Or AEW's game.
They actually AEW did have some small updates there. The achievements were released in part for Fight Forever. Let me grab this list here. It was actually kind of interesting. We can close out with that. Here we go. List of achievements for AEW Fight Forever surfaces online. Let's see here. Promising new team. Create a custom team that includes a custom wrestler and complete a tag team match. Arena architect. Create a custom arena. Making their debut. Create a custom wrestler. Professional gamer. Play through 5 different mini games. Casual gamer. Win a mini game within Road to Elite. So it sounds like the career mode is going to be called Road to Elite. Hall of Famer, earn a career grade of A+ in Road to Elite. Earn all the T-shirts that can be earned in Road to Elite to be called the Shirt Collector. Food Critic, select dining 16 times in a single playthrough in Road to Elite. What? Let's see here. The Danger achievement is unlocked when you... Contents under pressure. Attack an opponent using a barbed wire bat in a lights-out match and exhibition. And then there's a bunch of others here, but it's a pretty nice list. Some interesting things that get confirmed. There is some screenshots about what they look like. If you search it up, just go to Fightful.com. They've got the headline there, but if you just search up AEW Fight Forever achievements, you can take a look at the full leaked list. There's not anything else as far as release date yet. Brian and I talked about it last week where we talked about how, they've still got perhaps a ways to go before it finally comes out. But I would imagine with the achievements being leaked, they must be at least a little bit closer.
You would think. However, some people have, sometimes they find those things out prior to.
You got to be really savvy to be able to find where the achievements would be hidden for that. I mean, you'd have to go into the store, find the game under their profiles, and then maybe, possibly, just happen to be there when it's uploaded by accident?
No. It's called hacking, Stan.
I don't know anything about hacking, okay? I am not a hacker. That's really it for this week. To be honest, not a whole lot of.
It's as good as it gets, folks.
There you go. Not really a lot of news this week, which is probably a good thing. I prefer that no news is good news. We do send our thoughts and prayers out to the family, and of course to the guy himself, the superstar Billy Graham, who is on life support currently. Doctors asked his wife at one point if she wanted to remove him from life support. She refused. She wants to give him an opportunity to fight his way back. So our thoughts and prayers go out to the Graham family. A lot of wrestlers through the 80s and 90s influenced by superstar Billy Graham. There you have it. That's going to do it for us this week on Corner to Corner on C2CRadioshow.com. Catch up with Rob on the Twitter bot at Rob Hefner C2C. Catch up with Brian at Vlad Dragul C2C. That's VLADDRAGOOL C2C. I'm at Stan Grubb. And the show is at C2C Radio Show and C2CRadioshow.com. Thanks again for listening. Next week, it's the go-home week of Night of Champions, and the countdown to Double or Nothing begins. So we'll do some predictions there. Until next time, have a great week, everybody.